In 1970, Powell went to work for another African politician, the president of Sierra Leone. Working with Stevens, which she did until 1979, was not always a pleasant experience. Powell wrote, on one of the occasions she was in the presidential compound as rebels raked the building with gunfire. But she valued so much her friendship with Nkrumah to which she dedicated her memoir stating, dedicating the memory to Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, first president of the Republic of Ghana, a man of vision, courage, and outstanding achievement, to whom I owe the most eventful and exciting years of my life. Thank you. I have another paper by Stephanie Bolke, and it was on June Milne, his research assistant, and his research assistant, what else? Kwame Nkrumah was born September 21st, 1909, to what he did not know would be the world of political career. Nkrumah became the first Prime Minister of Ghana from 1957 to 1960, and then he became the first President of Ghana, First Republic, from 1960 to 1966. He was known as the most influential man of the 20th century, advocate of Pan-Africanism, and the leader of Ghana and its states, the Gold Coast. Nkrumah argued that socialism was a system that would best accommodate the changes that capitalism has brought African value. He was also a major influence on the founding of the Organization of African Unity. Kwame fought for everything he believed in and attempted to rapidly industrialize Ghana's economy. He attempted in many ways to save the economy of Ghana and built the Akasobo Dam, which was very expensive, but today produces most of Ghana's hydroelectric power. Once Kwame was disposed in 1966, Ghana had fallen from one of the richest countries in Africa to one of the poorest. In 2000, listeners voted him Africa's Man of the Millennium to the BBC World Service. In April 1972, at age 62, he died. The most influential people and the most trusted people in his life were two women. Erica Powell, his private secretary, and June Milne, his research and publisher, were the most important women in his life and followed him step by step through everything. The first inspiration was his British private secretary, Erica Powell. She was by his side for 10 years with unfaithful loyalty. If you ever wanted to meet Nkrumah, you had to go through his secretary first. Everything I've read about Erica Powell has shown that she was very loyal towards her boss and helped him through everything. The other loyal woman who he trusted with all of his information and even inherited his will. Her name is June Milne. He was his research assistant and then publisher. This Australian-born writer worked closely with Nkrumah, shining a new light on how Kwame Nkrumah met his end. June Milne published a book full of letters and stories from the life of Kwame Nkrumah, titled Kwame Nkrumah, The Conqueror Years. This book of Nkrumah's life and letters is built up from the beginning to his end life. Kwame writes letters to Milne, which are shown in this book. Some letters are taken out due to difficulty in understanding and are not necessary for the book. An example of a passage is KN to JM. The letter I posted to you this morning contained the sad news of the death of my cook, Amoa. He died yesterday, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. He was buried this afternoon. He was the only cook I had ever had during the last 16 years. Poor Nikema has been crying all day. They have been so close. The Guineans have been very good. This letter to June was his fear of the cook's death. Kwame feared that they would hire a new cook and who would poison him in some way. From researching this historic people, I have found out that they would all fight for their country or fight to help one another. Kwame would fight no matter if he was in danger or brought to jail. I read through a few pages of each chapter and saw how close these two were in the letters he wrote to her. In many of the letters, he asked June for different books for him to read, or he would see how her traveling was going, or if she was ready to travel. The relationship between the two seemed very close, which allowed her to receive strong information and stories to portray his life, to shine him in the light. The book did not only consist of letters between Kwame and June, but Shirley Du Bois, Ikao Ashun, R.D. Sinayaka, Erica Powell, Pete Milne, and many more wrote other letters. A lot of letters involved the political issues that Kwame was suffering or achieved at this time. When trying to put myself in the body of June Milne, I am not sure if I would ever be able to become so close to a man like Kwame. This man went through tough times, but fought for his country and led his country to high points. When June Milne and Kwame sent letters back and forth, I would never be able to keep up with everything that is going on throughout his life. The way she carried all the stories, the book showed him in a more depth sight on the life of Kwame. Having the trust in only 2 women has led Kwame far in the political poll. He has risen to the top of Ghana history and was labeled by June Milne as the greatest African. He was the first to become the Prime Minister of Ghana and the first to be President of Ghana First Republic. He has brought Ghana high up in the economic field by building a dam which contributes to over half the hydroelectric energy in Ghana. He was a great influence on the 2 trusted women in his life and also kept Ghana running strong. He brought them to independence and was put in jail while doing it. Ghana fell deeply once Kwame left politics. Once Kwame died, he was still in the hearts of these 2 women. They write about him and we still have information to share about his success. Not only was Kwame a strong, influential man, but also so was June Milne. She was by his side through thick and thin, ready to help. She researched his life in and out, given the best research by the man himself. The trust they had in each other led them both to a successful, long life, which will never be forgotten.